Welcome back, guys, to Prosperous Living with Toyia. And we're going to continue talking about manifesting. And one of the most maybe controversial aspects of understanding that our thoughts create our reality is accepting that everyone is you pushed out. I know that terminology, that understanding, that truth is can be kind of hard to digest, to accept that the things that are happening in our world is based on our assumptions, based on our belief system that we hold. And the reason why that may be kind of difficult, because a lot of the things that we may experience, especially those things that have, were very unwanted, could be described as traumatic, as a violation to our person. And to say that we were the cause of someone doing some harm to us is very hard to conceptualize. And when you hear that, don't take it from the aspect of it was something that you wanted to happen. That's something that, for the most part, you didn't, in your unawareness, your unknowing, your ignorance, had no idea that it was your thoughts, it was your beliefs that was mirroring or projecting this unwanted, unloving experience to take place. But that's what it is, and it happens because of the conditioning, right? Everyone that comes into this experience, into this third dimensional world, probably 99.9999% of us are conditioned to fear. Am I going to say that everyone accepts the fear? Everyone accepts fear on different levels, right? Everyone accepts, certain just teachings, certain, again, conditioning, programming, maybe a better term. We accept it because we come in forgetting who we are, right? We come in as babes, we come in trusting those that seem to know what's going on and how to navigate this thing we call reality. And so because we put our trust in others, right? Put our trust in our family, if we have any religious affiliation, we put our trust in our governments, in our scholastic institutions, right? We put every trust that we have in other people because we're here trying to figure life out, trying to understand, like, who am I? Why am I here? What's going on? And because those who came before us and they don't know who they are and they don't understand, the true dynamics of how to navigate this thing we call life, they do the best they can with the information they give us. And unfortunately, a lot of their information is just knee deep in fear. And so as now that you're on this journey, journey to your awakening process has now started, right? You've now realized who you are. You've now realized that, your thoughts create reality, that, your thoughts are things, that they're the reason for the people, the places, the ideas, the circumstances, the experiences that you're having. And when you come to this understanding, instead of looking at it from a point of view or perspective as why me, know that it's not just you. Know that it's mostly everyone mostly comes into this experience and forgetting who we are. And some people come to this understanding and knowledge and still use it to manipulate and coerce and to control. And then others that come into this understanding operate from the mindset of love, compassion, kindness. That's how you know if someone has truly awakened, because there's no one that has truly awakened and will still continue to try on some level to want to purposefully try to hustle or coerce or manipulate or do anything. Again, there's different levels to understanding this knowing, this process, and you just want to figure out how to make it work for you, right? And as you're on this journey, as you're remembering who you are and rediscovering your truth and understanding your power and the power that has been latent within you, lo, these many years, however many years it was before you started your awakening process. For me, I started in my 40s in 2018. So 7 years ago, I was about 45 years old. So that's when I had that awakening. I discovered the law of attraction video, and I was like, that's the answer. But let's get back to everyone that you pushed out. Everyone you pushed out. Everything that you see in your world is based on your concept of it, your belief system. Again, we've already established that a lot of your beliefs came from other people. Other people told you to fear your world, to not trust anyone, to only trust those in authority. Anyone else, you are to maybe question, but anyone that you felt was that you were told had any type of leadership in your world, whether that was a pastor or a minister, whether it's your parents, whether it's your teacher, your police officers, your president, your government, your boss, anyone that you felt that you were being insubordinate to, right? That's who you were to trust. When the whole time you really were to learn how to trust the inner guidance, the inner knowing within you. But that takes, again, the process of awakening. Now, I'm not going to say everybody is not late to the party, right? And it's not even really about being late to the party because, you awaken when you awaken. And it's different, quote unquote, ages, right? We know age is also a construct because the real you, the immortal you, is not this body, right? The real you is that invisible part of you, the God essence within you, the intelligence, the spark, the energy, the consciousness, the awareness, the imagination, the mind, source, God. We call it all kinds of different, give it all different labels and names. Understanding that everyone that you pushed out allows you to reclaim your power, really, right? Because once you start to change your thoughts about your world, that's when your world begins to change. When you start to see the boss that you said was rude and cruel and didn't understand you, never praised you, was always, breathing down your neck. If you could just start to decide to see your boss as someone else praising you, acknowledging you, giving you accolades and just real easy to get along with, that they may to give them grace, to understand and have compassion towards them, you will see that reflected back to you because it's not you changing them, it's you changing your thoughts about them. And because they're your thoughts made manifest. That's what everyone is you pushed out really means. It means that they're your thoughts made manifest. If you believe that the job you have is going to be difficult, it's going to be a struggle, it's going to be strain, you're never going to get it, it's hard, then that's what you're going to create circumstances that's going to confirm those beliefs that you hold. If you think relationships are that a good man is hard to find, good women are just gold diggers, that there are certain roles that should only be done by a man in a relationship, and there are certain roles that should only be done by a woman in a relationship. If that's how you view relationships, marriage, if you look at them as difficult and trying and compromising and sacrificing, then your your subconscious mind is going to create experiences in your world to confirm that for you. This is what you have to understand about your subconscious mind, your beliefs, is that they never seek to make you a liar. They're always going to confirm the truth in which you have established for yourself. That's why Neville Goddard would tell us there's no fiction. Everything that you accept to be true will be true for you. Whatever you assume about life, that your assumption will be magnified and will be projected back to you. You will always experience that what you accept and believe to be true, right? So Neville Goddard would tell us that an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. That whatever you continuously give your thoughts to, whatever you continuously give your energy, your mind to, that's what you're going to continue to create. So if you're only seeing negativity and obstacles and seeing life as strenuous and a burden, then you're going to continue to create situations that's going to confirm those beliefs. But once you decide to change your mindset, when you decide to see life as something that supports you, that loves you, that the spark, the divine essence within you, which is love, only looks to support you, and it supports you through love or through fear, because it makes no generalities. It is very neutral. It's not saying that something is wrong or something is bad. It's saying, what do you believe? What do you accept? It's just like the genie in a bottle. It's going to give you exactly what you assume to be true. So if you're assuming life as glorious, as amazing, as wonderful, is always looking out for you, that things always work out for you, that all things work together for your good, then it's going to make sure to give you confirmation regarding those beliefs. So then you have to ask yourself, what is it that you want to believe? What do you want to assume to be true? And then remain faithful to that belief, that assumption, because your world is your magnified mirror. Again, that's what everyone is, you pushed out. Your world is pushed out of your consciousness, right? It's your world made objectified. It's your subconscious subjective beliefs made something that you can see, taste, hear, smell, touch. It becomes a physical representation of your inner world. It's as within, so without. That's what everyone is, you pushed out means. It means every idea, every thought, every person, every experience, every place, whatever, all that you behold, everything that you see is based on your assumptions, not anyone else's. Your world is as different as anyone else's world is. Why? Because you perceive life differently than anyone else. You have a unique, distinct way of perceiving your reality. And based on your assumptions, based on your beliefs, based on your knowing, based on your experiences, that's how you're going to that's how life is going to show up for you. And life always shows up magnified. It is a projection of your inner dialogues, your inner conversations, what you continuously talk about, think about, speak about, whatever you're consciously just over and over. That's why it's so important to rewrite the script, change the script, change what you believe to be true about your world. And that's the only way you're going to know it. That's the only way you're going to prove it to yourself, because someone can tell you over and over again that this world is based on your belief system. It's not until you decide to, let me test it out. Let me start sincerely, lovingly changing the way I think about my world, and then start to see what happens. And then you start to see opportunities come forth. You start to see ideas just take form and take shape within you. You just start seeing that you no longer have to chase life, that life just unfolds for you effortlessly, easily, wonderfully. You will get confirmation of your changed beliefs, of your changed thoughts. But it's necessary that you remain faithful to it and you don't give excuses or look for reasons not to believe in it. And this is what you have to be so cautious of. Once you're deciding to change the way you think, it instantly changes spiritually. Not third dimensionally, there is a time gap, there's a time lapse. This world is keyed low. It's on a different frequency from the spiritual realm. And so in order for those worlds to collide and for that world to collapse and become the new version of your new thoughts, it's going to be a lapse of time. Now, a lapse of time, no one knows. It could be a day, it could be 2 hours, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 2 months, it could be 10 years. Nobody knows exactly how long it's going to take you to convince yourself of your new reality. You just have to know that the moment you thought it was the moment it was a reality. There is no lapse time in consciousness. There's only lapse time in what? In the third dimension, on the third dimensional plane. We built this construct for to have the experience of unfoldment, of the process of the experience. That's the whole point of why we're here. We're here to experience. So don't let circumstances, don't let the old story discourage you, even though it may seem like nothing's changing. We don't go by appearances, we walk by faith. We learn to live from within and know that eventually the outside is going to reflect what's going in, as long as we what remain faithful to what's going on within. That's what's key. That's a necessary ingredient. A lot of us get tripped up on that because we're like, where is it? Where is it? I believed that this person was different. I said it. I truly acknowledged their change. I truly decided to see them differently, but they continue to act the same way. They continue to behave in the same way. That's because you're seeking validation from the outside. You don't seek validation from circumstances. You know that the validation is true because you saw it within you. And then you just allow it to catch up. You have to allow your circumstances to catch up with the new version of you. You have to not pay attention to what's going on out there. You have to say what's going on out there. If they're still acting based on the old script, that's when you have to remind yourself, oh, they're still playing the old role, but I gave them a new role. Okay, I'll give them, they have to rehearse it. They have to, it has to become a part of them, and I'm going to allow that new role to catch hold for them to understand who they are, because I rewrote the script. I rewrote it in my mind. I see them differently. I'm going to remain faithful to the script. Even though they're acting out of character, I'm going to remain faithful to the new script. That is so important when it comes to anything you're creating in your world, whether you want more money, better health, better relationships, you want to travel more, you want a life of leisure, you want to start your own business, or you want to move up in your current profession, whatever it is, whatever you're desiring, you have to live in the state of already being it and understand that your world is always mirroring your beliefs. And so in order to change that, you have to change the way you think. As Abraham Hicks would tell us, that a belief is just a thought you keep on thinking. So if you want to create a new belief, you have to what? Start thinking differently and keep thinking that way and keep thinking that way. And then what? That thinking causes a new belief, and then that belief causes a new expression. That new expression brings about a new experience. And that's really it. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Come back for more inspirational videos such as this one. And remember, stop taking this life so seriously. Stop seeing, life as a challenge, life as hard, life as sacrificial. Start to see life as easy, breezy, fresh and squeezy. To not give up on yourself, to not grow weary in well doing, but that you shall reap if you faint not. Just remember to acknowledge the presence within you. Remind yourself that you've been thinking this way, or however you've been thinking negatively, or thinking life was difficult and a strain for so long, and now to decide to think differently, to show up differently, to expect something differently. Allow that seed to germinate, allow it to take root, and then when it takes root, it will what? Come into full bloom. Allow that process to take place. Again, it can happen in a blink of an eye, right? But the time it takes to manifest into the third dimension may take 5 minutes, it may take 5 hours, it may take 5 days, 5 months, 5 years. No man knows the day or the hour in which the manifestation shall come. Your thing is not to lose heart, not to give up, to remain faithful. And in all things, give thanks. Give thanks, gratitude, appreciation. That's another key. That is so key. Being thankful, being appreciative, not complaining, not struggling. Because when you complain, you just get more things to complain about. But when you give appreciation, you find more things to appreciate. And until next time, guys, see you later.